Okay, week 2. Set design step 1. I'm going to put some chalkboard paint
on our chalkboard.
Here. And then we'll have a chalkboard. Sean?
Maybe we'll have a chalkboard.
Sean?
Yes.
Do you have any chalk?
We got chalk right here.
Those are markers.
They're chalk markers.
No, they're regular markers.
These aren't chalk markers?
No, they're just markers.
No, I don't.
We're chocolates. Okay, well, while I do this, why don't we do our weekly check-in? Tell me what's going on. What's hot in the world of dinosaur action news?
in the world of dinosaur action news?
Yeah. Dinosaur action news with Sean.
Holy shit! What? I'm not. As far as I know. I know. Jeff Goldblum is gonna supposedly make another bit appearance in this new Jurassic World that's coming out.
All right, so, Jeff Goldblum's gonna be in it.
Yeah, he's gonna be in it. He was also in 5, so I don't know if he's just really desperate for stuff to do right now, or if
I think Jeff Goldblum just likes money.
Probably just likes money.
I mean, I like money.
Yeah.
Make your checks out to Eli at aatht@outlook.com. Send me a photograph of your check and I'll virtual deposit it.
Is that one can going to be enough for that?
Oh, not even close.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So moving on. Eli is doing that. So this week, as per usual, we've got the Deck of Mystery. Right, so we're going to go ahead and pull from the Deck of Mystery to try to determine what our fate is held.
Don't pull it yet.
Don't pull it yet?
No, you have to make a pray and a recommendation.
Oh. Make a pray and a recommendation.
Yeah, well, what do you want there?
Oh, great Deck of Mystery.
Hold on. Reverence in a second. What movie do you want it to be?
What movie do I want it to be?
It's not all Jurassic Park 5 in there.
I know, but I'm probably pretty good with it being Jurassic Park 5. If I'm being honest with you.
You're okay?
Yeah. Well, it's week 2. Honestly, the movie itself really so far isn't terrible.
Well, like I was saying last week, rewatch madness hasn't set in yet.
No, that's true. It probably will eventually, I would imagine.
Okay, so you're okay with it being Jurassic Park 5?
Yeah. What about you?
Because it's Christmas, and I can hear the dog barking, and I know this mic is picking up that dog.
Oh, it probably is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope for a movie that kills dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that.
Don't do that?
Or, do. I mean, to each their own.
Probably. I want a wild card. I just want it to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's make it a holiday miracle.
I know who you are. I know that you like avoidance as much as possible. So
what?
That doesn't really surprise me at all.
This isn't about avoiding it. I just
don't listen to him.
No. Okay, it's probably true.
Don't listen to him.
Okay, so make our prayer.
He's trying to avoid pulling anything to do with this level of responsibility. He wants. You see how right now he's distracting himself from what we're trying to do, and instead getting himself busy and his hands busy with something else because he wants to try to avoid doing Jurassic Park 5.
You can't.
I know who he is. So we're gonna go ahead and do our sacred prayer. Oh, Deck of Mystery, please giveth unto us the best Jurassic movie of all. Drum roll, please, Eli.
I'll add it in post.
Jurassic Park 5.
Not surprising.
Boo. So we're going to go watch Jurassic Park 5.
I'm going to add more spray paint. And
He's going to add more spray paint at some point or something. But it's not great.
All right, so we've watched Jurassic Park 5 twice.
Yeah. Yep. This was watch number 2. The Deck of Mystery gave us Jurassic Park 5 both times.
So far. Will it give us Jurassic Park 5
next week?
Who knows?
We don't.
Only time will tell.
Yep.
All right, on to week 2.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you want to get into this? Do you want to start writing shit on the board, or do you just want to go through and we'll do what we feel as we feel it?
I guess we can just go through. I tend to structure my notes differently than you, so...
Yes, mine are starting to begin the serial killer quest. As you can see, they're mindless scrawlings that are barely legible, and I'm already drawing connective lines and underlining them, so we're getting on a path.
That's interesting. So, well, why don't we start out like bigger, I guess. So let's just start out with our hype factor. How we're feeling as far as our hype factor.
All right, that's the one thing I didn't write down. So my hype factor out of 10.
Yeah.
10.
You're at a 10 out of 10.
All the way hyped.
You're all the way hyped.
I had a great watch. I had a good week. I had a lot of... I've been having a good week. Had a great watch. And as we went through this, I got really excited for the next step in this journey.
Beautiful.
Sure, we watched Jurassic Park 5 twice, but it is sweeter the second time around.
Uh-huh.
And I can't wait to see what happens next in the Deck of Mystery.
Yeah, okay.
Where are you at?
So I'm just like you. I had a really good week, so I'm gonna give it a hype factor of 8. Not the highest for sure, but I'm definitely very hyped. Had a good week. You know, new irons in the fire in my life for me. So I guess, do you want to, since we've only got half the chalkboard, do you want to write like hype factor and then E and S and give us both of our scores?
I'll do it in pink.
Right up there.
You know what? The hype factor is just going to be on the screen now.
Oh, okay. Or, you'll do whatever.
I'll fix that in post.
Yeah, that's fine.
The hype factor is going to be a running tally.
Yeah, the hype factor will just, I guess, be somewhere.
Because if we're starting at hype factor, I think the fairest transition point is our hypest moment. Sean, what was your hypest moment?
My hypest moment? My hypest moment this week was when Franklin almost got eaten by the guy with the glasses.
Right.
He's with the red-haired chick.
Yes.
He almost gets eaten by the dinosaur. Like,
come on, let's go. Come on, Franklin.
We made it! Yeah!
that was my hypest moment. What about you? What was yours?
My hypest moment was when the Indoraptor yelled triumphantly while standing on the mansion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it was like a nice little bit of mirroring between the Indoraptor and the T-Rex.
Well, I got real into the dinosaurs yelling triumphantly this week, and I started to realize, I bet you, I might be able to, over the course of this, find a different dinosaur yelling triumphantly hype factor every week. So, not only is that going to be my hypest moment going through, but I'm going to try to see if I can deliberately choose a new one.
So wait, so for the next 18 weeks, let's say like I'll magically roll the dice. The Deck of Mystery gives us Jurassic Park or Jurassic World 3, I guess, or Jurassic World 2, I guess.
Jurassic Park 5, aka
Jurassic Park
Jurassic
5.
World 2, Jurassic
Correct.
World Fallen Kingdom.
Correct.
Right.
Let's say the Deck of Mystery just gives us that movie every week. You're just going to look for a different dinosaur roaring to be your hypest moment for every week.
I'm going to see if I can do it 18 more times. Because
Good luck.
In this movie alone, I said that there's the part where the T-Rex roars triumphantly.
You are correct.
but
There are
I
3
know-
times that it does it.
Right.
So I can't help but notice you're correct that happens. And the only thing I can come up with is that this movie is just so hype.
Yes.
You know, it's just so much hype.
So
that
much
they
hype.
had to put that in there 2 extra times, which is 2 more times than any of the other films must have had.
Now, you proposed a new rule during the watch.
I did.
Which is while we're up here having a great time, having our hypest moment.
Correct.
We also got to bring it down. We got to even out. We got to have some vegetables with our chocolate.
Yeah.
And you know the old broccoli and Skittles dinner.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. You know, have some
Broccoli and Skittles.
Brussels sprouts with your candy. You got to come out in the middle.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Got to have some whiskey with your espresso. You can't.
That's
Live in a world
not
of
the same
extremes.
thing because there are people who literally love both of those.
You got to take some Quaaludes with your cocaine. To
That's
even it
no,
out.
you're not. Now you're not helping.
The point
anymore,
is,
right?
do drugs, kids.
Okay,
Don't.
yeah, no, don't do that.
Well, unless
You
your
know,
doctor prescribes them, or you want some.
maybe it's more of an example of you got to have a little bit of responsibility with your fun.
That's
You can't
worse.
just have fun.
Yes, you can. Will you die in a ditch?
Everyone
Sure.
is gonna be miserable at some point.
Anyway. That's actually everyone is going to be miserable at some point.
So the new
the downside.
segment that I proposed was we have our hypest moment. Maybe we should have our Dino Downer of the week. You know, like our what was the moment that made us the saddest? What was the moment that made us the most upset? And so I ask, I guess, of you, did
Yeah.
you get a Dino Downer
I did.
moment of the week?
My Dino Downer was when Claire and Owen and Franklin are escaping the volcano to get on the boat.
You wanted them to die?
It is the, well,
I mean, there is that moment where that one guy's like, you would have had better luck. Your chances would have been better on the volcano.
you're getting way ahead of us because we're going to probably go into that this week. But no. It's the most in a movie full of like Deus Ex Machina convenience moments, that is the most contrived sequence. Right? Like, they're running to escape this volcano, which is arbitrarily deciding to explode at that point. And they're leaving to get on a boat with a truck that is just like, happened to be there. Yeah, like, it's all of this ticking clock time, like, urgencies
But
right
didn't
after
you
one.
know that that's how it really is?
No, fuck that. Like, they're running away from the volcano, and they could have just got on the boat, but they didn't. They had to run away from the volcano and get on a truck. But they couldn't just get on the truck. Franklin had to run and get picked up at the last second from the truck. So they couldn't just get on the truck. Now the truck is a chase sequence. But then they couldn't just drive the truck on the boat because the boat's leaving. So they have to, like, jump the truck to get on the boat. Because that, they couldn't just drive
And
it
then
on.
she puts that on.
Then they get on the boat, and even they can't just like get on the boat. They have to like, I gotta shift it at the last second to get on the like. Just just sneak on the boat. And then the boat goes away, and the island blows up. You don't need 4 fucking chase sequences in like a 10-second span all mashed together.
But didn't you know that that's what makes movies good?
Fuck you, Colin. Colin Trevorrow, director of this fucking movie.
Okay.
All right, what was your Dino Downer?
My Dino Downer moment was when, what was her name? Carol? Is that her name? The main character lady, the red-haired lady?
Claire.
Claire.
I
called her the bitch
Oh,
main
that's
lady.
oof.
Well,
toxic masculinity.
If you hear my Dino Downer moment, you'll understand. So my Dino Downer moment was when she's trying to guilt trip Owen into bullshit going to the island and sucking him back into the same crap that made their relationship toxic in the last movie. And so he can help her go save the dinosaurs. And he's just trying to live his best life, right? He's trying to enjoy his life.
He's building the cabin.
Look, he made a solid point before he allowed her to guilt trip him into that sequence, which was the point that he made was that let nature do its business.
I got bad news.
What?
Unrelated. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Those aren't going to work on that?
Oh, no, fucking they're straight up not going to show up at all.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
This is getting captured, so I'll write over here. But continue.
Just going to mark up all of our walls. These walls are going to probably end up looking like they've been heavily graffitied. Not that it matters, because they really probably should already look that way, I guess. We didn't really paint them that hard, so...
Don't excuse this!
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a work in progress,
yeah,
or a destruction.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Again,
it
the
is.
terrible wood is doing a number on these garbage markers.
Yeah, that's not surprising. None of it is surprising.
Anyway, so Claire.
So that was my Dino Downer moment, was when Claire really, really just guilt tripped him into a bunch of bullshit when his response was just let nature work its course. Look, dinosaurs died out millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, whatever the number was years ago. And it was because nature worked its course and killed them. And right now, the same thing is happening to us. We won't get into that too much, but it is happening to us. And Owen's real response was, just go live your life, right? Just go live your life. I'm living my life. And she had to walk back into his life and get all shitty with him because she wanted to, what? Save the dinosaurs?
So
a species that already went extinct a long time ago? Come on. That was my Dino Downer moment.
That's a pretty bad moment. All right. I got a question for you, Sean.
What?
Are you ready for the Jurassic World Superfan Quiz?
Jurassic World Superfan Quiz.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm a super fan yet, but
all right.
I'll give it a
shot.
shot.
You ready?
I'll give it a shot.
What is Claire's last name?
I have no idea.
Now, you saw Jurassic Park 4.
I did.
And Jurassic Park 5.
Well, obviously now I've seen it twice.
Yeah, what's her last name?
Claire.
That was our Jurassic World Superfan Quiz.
I was totally wrong, wasn't
No,
I?
you got a big old goose. Oh, I don't fucking know. They don't say it in the movie.
They don't say it in the movie? You're asking me a question you don't even know the answer to.
I don't think it exists for what it's worth. I don't think the information.
By the way,
is there.
I mumbled shamalama ding dong into my sweatshirt, but that obviously is not correct.
All right. I got one last thing, and then let's just go into notes. I think that's a good way to wrap that up. Sean, it's time for the Dino of the Week.
Dino of the Week.
Dino of the Week. This week's Dino of the Week is brought to you by oil. Dinosaurs are still with us, and we use them every day.
Yeah.
Oil.
So that's how they're made.
If you still want to get in touch with Jurassic World, put it in your car.
Call your local Shaw. Oh my God.
Okay. Sean, what's your Dino of the Week?
My Dino of the Week is, because I don't actually know what the name of its species is. It's the fish dino, a.k.a. Kevin.
Kevin! Well, that's not a good dinosaur name. I'm aware.
That is literally what you named it.
I'm aware that is my decision. So I'm going to call it the Kevin-saurus.
The Kevin-saurus. Kevin-osaurus.
Saurus. All right. My Dino of the Week is the Carnosaur.
Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. That was almost my Dino of the Week. But
it's like Kevin. A T-Rex, but it has devil horns. And it's like, just use that one. Fuck all these other ones.
Yeah,
that was
but
pretty sweet.
It's a little bit smaller, but yeah. I would imagine that it's like easily as threatening.
This Sean, this movie is made for American 10-year-olds and Chinese adults.
I don't remember that dinosaur being in the original Jurassic Park.
You could make that dinosaur 4,000 feet tall and no one would give a shit. I don't know anything about dinosaurs.
They did like genetically create these in the lab. So I guess they could have done anything with it.
The Indoraptor is Not the Indoraptor. The Indominus Rex
Yeah.
can turn invisible.
Yeah.
So take a Carnosaur, which is like a T-Rex with sweet-ass devil horns, and make it 100 feet tall.
Yeah, okay.
Make it the size of the fucking World Trade Center.
Why not?
And it could just eat 200 people at once. Yeah. It'd be awesome. Make it breathe fire.
Yeah.
It could fight Mothra.
Yep.
We should just watch Godzilla movies.
Okay.
I like them more. I mean...
We're not doing that. Not unless another American one's coming out.
I will keep you posted.
We'll talk. We'll talk. It may happen.
So that's all the fun stuff until we get our roars of watch.
Yeah.
Do you have any what notes? We're getting into notes.
Yeah, I got all kinds of notes, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I have a lot of notes that are related to not having seen the fourth movie, which allows me to ask the question, what the fuck happened in that movie? Because I've never seen it. I haven't seen Jurassic Park 4, Jurassic World 1, Return to Jurassic World. So I have a lot of questions that I feel like might be answered there. Now, Sean...
We never watched the fourth Transformers film, so we didn't even know the same thing going into that one.
So, Sean, as my resident Jurassic Park 4 expert...
I'm not an expert on shit, and you know what? I'm going to actually decline to give you any information until we hopefully get to watch that movie based on the Deck of Mystery.
So we'll just call
I just want it to be question marks for you.
All right. We'll call these a lightning round of questions.
Okay.
And I'll see if you might know the answers to any of this off the top of your head.
I guess I can try, but for the most part, I may pass.
No.
Pass, that's too bad.
Okay, pass is fine. Are we supposed to know who Ben Lockwood is prior to this movie?
Ben Lockwood was the old man, right?
Right, but was he in any of the other movies before this one?
Is he the old man that gets killed, smothered with the pillow, or is he the other old man?
No, that's the pillow smothered old man.
No,
Richard Hammond is the other old man.
Okay, yeah. Not unless he was in 2 or 3.
Okay,
he wasn't. I don't remember him being in 4.
All right. They need Claire's handprint to access the radio tracking signals. Did everyone else that had access to that die? Like in Jurassic Park 4, are there like shitloads of office people just getting eaten by dinosaurs?
That does happen quite a bit in Jurassic Park 4 by the end of it, but that I don't think that's really a good question because in Jurassic Park 4, she was the head of the park.
So she might have like
she
special
was basically
access.
running the park. Yeah. So I would imagine that she probably had like special access. So it would have been easier to just track her down because she was clearly like not trying to hide herself.
Now we're trying to save dinosaurs and pull them off the island. But I remember Jurassic Park 1, a whole plot point in that movie was that the dinosaurs are sterile. Were the dinosaurs in
Jurassic Park 1.
Yeah, no, understand. In Jurassic Park 4, are the dinosaurs also supposed to be sterile?
I don't think that was ever brought up.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think that was ever really a part of it. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so they're probably just making dino babies all over the place.
Maybe.
All right. I don't know why.
I don't remember that really coming up, and I don't even remember seeing any eggs.
Because if the dinosaurs are sterile, I don't know why you would, even as a Texas oil tycoon, want to buy a Stegosaurus. What the fuck purpose is that going to serve you?
Unless it's going to make babies.
Yeah. Then you could do my first actual note.
Okay, you didn't have any more questions? That was it?
No.
About Jurassic Park 4?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully I answered those to the best of my ability for you, but I don't know. We'll be maybe watching that film at some point. So
we'll see what the Deck of Mystery tells us to do, for we are at its mercy.
Yeah.
All right, what's your first note? What do you got?
So my first note is I think that Jeff Goldblum's character is secretly anti-futurism. I think that he's secretly the head of some sort of coalition that may, in fact, be Amish run.
So Jeff Goldblum is the head of a secret Amish coalition to destroy technology?
Yep. Because he's talking about wanting to end people's ability to use genetic manipulation. But if you really think about it, like in our world today, even no dinosaurs included, we do a lot of genetic manipulation. So I'm thinking maybe Jeff Goldblum's character is the leader of some sort of Amish-led anti-technology coalition that will appear again in the next film because there are rumors that he's in it.
All right. Similar note. Claire and Owen broke up because Owen wanted to be homeless. Did I understand that correctly?
I think more importantly, Owen wanted to be a free spirit.
No.
She didn't want that.
He wanted to live in a van on the side of the road.
Well, they were probably living in a van at some point on the side of the road. But if he really wanted to live in a van on the side of the road, why was he building a cabin, right? That wasn't the goal. I think the goal was to live free, right? To allow nature to work its course, live free and enjoy your life. And that was what he was doing. He was getting the freedom, which goes back to what was originally my Dino Downer moment. That's why it was such a downer for me. Because here this bitch comes walking in back into his life, what she already decided to leave because she couldn't move on with her life. She had to stay locked in this thing for the last 3 or 4 years, however long it was since the last one. And he's just trying to live his best life, right? He's just trying to move on. He's trying to let go. He's trying to heal his soul, right?
Build a cabin.
And build a cabin and live his best life. And here she comes and she has to wreck the whole thing. And he totally gave in for that poo nanny. I'm serious. And I wrote that as one of my notes. I said the only reason Owen got double crossed is because that poontang. He was trying to get laid. He's probably been living in the woods, shitting behind trees and shit for the last 3 years, building this cabin that was really nice, but it's just like a skeleton of a cabin, living in a van down by the river. And here comes Swinging Hips McGee, and she's like, "Oh, you know you want some of this? Come and get those dinosaurs." And he's like, "Oh yeah, baby. Gonna get those dinosaurs."
I want to talk about Owen's relationship with Claire this episode. Owen Green, for those paying attention, is his last name.
Green is his last name. Wow, okay.
They say it in the movie. That was like Claire's last name.
Yeah, I don't remember. You know what? I think they probably say it in Jurassic Park 4, because Jurassic Park 4, it's the main characters are Owen, Claire, and then I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 of Claire's like nieces and nephews and shit that are at the park. They're there to visit her and spend the summer with her, and then of course she hits Fan. Which
All right.
is what
Do you have any more Claire and Owen related notes?
That maybe the bad guys are not really the bad guys.
We'll get into that later, I'm sure. The deck of mystery will guide us. But I really do think what the fuck is going on vis-a-vis the poachers in this movie deserves an entire episode of discussion by itself. There is so much weird shit to unpack with those guys.
Like when they tried to get the Indominus Rex part, all of it.
It's all bad. Like there's so many things they do that are completely beyond the pale.
You're right. I think there's too much to analyze in such a short period of time. It's going to take at least an episode.
I'll make a deal with you. We'll handshake on this one. If the deck of mystery tells us to walk Jurassic Park 5 again, whenever that is our poacher special. So the only notes are about the poachers. The only discussion is about the poachers. The only plot is about the poachers. The only thing we're talking about is the poachers.
All right. Okay.
Shake on. Hug it out. I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
But that was all I had about Owen and them. I've got some other notes, but they're not related to them.
Lava is really hot.
Yeah, no shit.
Right. But there's a lot of parts in this movie where they're like 3 feet from lava, and they're perfectly fine.
So I'm going to say this. Okay, so if you go to like Hawaii,
Right.
you can see lava.
Yeah, yeah.
And in some cases, you can get pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Not like super, super close,
Yeah.
but within a reasonable distance and not melt. But that's also in outdoor situations, not indoor situations.
Like where they're inside and the lava's pouring down and the Allosaurus is so hungry to eat them, it goes, well, fuck it. I don't give a shit that I'm literally melting with lava. I gotta eat this black nerd.
Yes, and it's not like turning and running away and trying to get out, which is also kind of weird. It's like, okay, so
It's escaping the lava.
Yeah,
Then it sees some people.
if you've ever seen like forest fire videos, when you watch those, all of the animals, no matter what, like predators and herbivores, they're all trying to get as far away from that fire as possible.
Not Allosauruses.
Because it's going to kill them and they know it.
Right.
They're not dumb.
No.
They have some instinct, right? They're not like, it's not like the deer are running away from the bears or whatever, or the cougars, because that's what's trying to kill them. No, they're trying to get away from the inescapable blaze. And also there happen to be some wolves and shit that are also trying to get out of there. But yet somehow in this movie, the only thing that carnivores seem to think about is their next meal source, and not also the environmental things that might kill them.
Like the lava.
Like the lava. But then other times they break that rule. Almost. They almost break that rule. Not even 100%, because when they're running away from the lava and they're coming down and they get inside of the round thing,
Yeah.
like all of the herbivores, you see them take off running, right? They're like, "Doo-doo-doo, we need to get the hell out of here." But then the carnosaur shows
Dino
up.
of the week.
The carnosaur shows up, and it's like, no, my first priority is to eat, not survive apocalypse.
But then the T-Rex saves them.
But then the T-Rex saves
And
them
roars triumphantly.
and runs away.
Right, but that's a different hypest moment than the last time the T-Rex.
Well, it runs away though too.
Yeah, well, 'cause it's
which is,
scared.
I guess, maybe it's a little bit smarter.
I don't
get it.
know.
Actually, you know what? That makes me think of something. That was one of my notes. So
Yeah.
that gets into something.
Sure, let's go.
So we talked about the little girl. I forget her name, but we'll probably get it
Hold
at
on,
some
what
point.
is it?
Little girl's name.
I don't know.
I don't remember what her name is
Who
either.
fucking cares?
So I'm going to call her Samantha for right now.
All right, Samantha.
Right. So the little girl Samantha, who is Lockwood's granddaughter, air quote, that's what they call her. She's actually a clone of his daughter.
Yes.
So obviously, so they've got this technology where they can take DNA and they can create stuff out of the DNA. That's how they created the dinosaurs in the first place,
Right.
right?
They used frog DNA plus Mr. DNA did a whole thing.
Right.
Link in the description.
And of course, we also saw at one point that there was a big tank of poisonous gas chemicals, and we've questioned already at least twice, I know you have and so have I, why that was there in the first place. See, I think that those chemicals aren't necessarily air quote dangerous. I mean, they are dangerous, but they're dangerous for a different reason. They're dangerous because they are part dinosaur, part human, like cloning technology vapors that are inside of there.
Gotcha.
And if you breathe them in as just a human or as just a full dinosaur, it'll either, who knows what it'll do? It'll do science stuff. It's going to kill you. Or it might mutate you into some sort of horrible monster.
Right.
I don't know, because the movie is trying very hard to avoid that happening. Who knows? Maybe it'll come up in the next movie. But I think that Samantha is part dinosaur. And I also think, and I'm going to throw out a reason why, I also think some of the dinosaurs are part human.
Oh.
And I'm firmly in camp that T-Rex is part human.
Well, it would.
And the reason why I think that is at one point they're trying to gather blood from the T-Rex to save Blue.
Yeah.
And they zoom in on the T-Rex's eyes.
Yes.
And the T-Rex has a round pupil.
Right.
It does not have a slitted pupil.
Yes.
Like most lizards of that size would. And in fact, if you go back and watch any of the older films, they have a slitted one. But it has a round pupil, like a human. and a dilating pupil, if not other than that. So I think that the T-Rex is actually of higher intelligence and was actually at different given points trying to save Owen, Claire, and Samantha.
Into my note, and by that I mean I'm going to make a wild segue. I think the plot of this movie is good, but the world building is bad. The actual plot points, right? We're gonna capture some dinosaurs. We're gonna sell them at auction. We're gonna put them on a truck. Gonna get Owen Green. He's gonna bang his mistress again. Something like that happens.
Yeah, she's
right?
leading him in.
Go back to Dino Island. The plot's fine. The world building is where all the problems are. Because you create these world building issues up, and they show it in the movie. Like, you can buy the dinosaur DNA like in a tube, and you could just poke it into wherever it goes and do science to it, and then it makes a dinosaur. So we don't need the whole dinosaur. So why do we get the whole dinosaur? And if we don't need the whole dinosaur and we just have them in a tube, why don't we just sell the tubes and not the whole dinosaur? And then, you run all that all over the place. Okay, so you need to go to the island to get the whole dinosaur, but couldn't you just go there to get the tube? You have the same plot, volcano, T-Rex,
or to get the piece anyway.
Yeah, you get the dino goo. Right. Oh, when we left because the dinosaurs we couldn't, so we need.
Well, I would imagine that creating a creature like this, for one, it's going to take time, right?
Yeah,
and they kind of bring that up a little bit. But not only that, it's probably really expensive. I mean, you gotta grow it in a lab, and that takes like electricity and
I'm fine.
And all of that crap. So the dinosaurs are already there, right?
Dinosaurs.
Right. So just go get some dinosaurs. I mean, the dinosaurs are fixing to die. The government has basically already mandated that they're just going to do nothing.
Right.
But they didn't even say what the weird part is. Like the government basically said that not only are they not going to do anything, they're not going to stop anybody from doing whatever they want to do. Right. So it basically turned the whole island into free game. Right.
Yeah.
Anybody could have showed up and be like, I'm going to bag me a Stegosaurus.
And you know what? That's a movie, right? There's a ton of cool ways to do this if your world building is just consistent with what's going on.
And you know what? Maybe, depending on what the Deck of Mystery says next week, we'll be talking about that. Because we were saying, if that comes up, JP5 comes up again, we'll talk about the poachers.
All right.
And that could be related to the poachers. So we're not going to talk about that right now.
I have one last note.
I have one more as well.
Well, give me you have one more?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a note about Franklin, actually.
You're a big Franklin note this week.
Yeah. So, second note about Franklin, my last note. I think Franklin is some kind of spy. Because Franklin, if you watch, by the time they get on the boat, Franklin is able to blend in every situation.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Now, I've been talking a little bit about rewatch madness, and that happens when you have to talk about the same movie for over and over again for weeks at a time.
Yeah, eventually this will circle back around again.
So we're going to create a theories board. So I want you to go and put that in as the first theory. So the way this is going to work is you propose a theory. In this case, Sean's proposing that Franklin is some kind of spy, and also that Jeff Goldblum, let me just check my notes here, secretly works for an Amish anti-technology special interest group.
Yes.
And as weeks go on, we'll either substantiate these claims with evidence or we'll excise them from the board. So I'll let him write both of those as I go into what is arguably my last note, which is I'm all the way in on the back half of this movie. When the dinosaur movie takes a drastic turn and becomes a weird spy thriller auction about escaping a dinosaur-filled mansion, fucking I'm in. I think my problem is that it has to take that left turn. If someone had just called Owen and been like, hey, you're a raptor expert, and we sort of played God and made a raptor that's eating people in this mansion, and we need you to stop it. and that the whole movie is just on the estate with him chasing the Indoraptor. Yeah, dude, I'm in. And it's like cutting the power and because it's all smart and shit. Yeah, I'm all in on the part of this movie that completely deviates from it being a park-related film anymore.
Yeah.
And in that regard, using this movie to set up for future movies is, I think, a lazy way to do this because it makes this movie not great. But it allows us to go, we're done telling park stories, so stay tuned, folks, because it's going to get fucking sideways. And so I'm really excited for that film.
I mean, it always goes sideways, so.
Yeah.